Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXE Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Alright, so trackies, day 3, the final day of the World Indoor Championships evening session has absolutely not gone our way. Now, into this day 3, we had 3 events that Jamaicans were taking part in. One being the women's 60 meters, the other one being the women's 60 meter, not 60 meters, sorry, the women's long jump, and the other being the women's 4 by 400 meter relay. Now, with that said, trackies, let's start with the women's 60 meters. Megan Tapper lined up in the semifinal, right? And she had a very good opportunity of making it into the final as long as she, executed a clean race. Unfortunately for Megan Tapper, it was not a clean execution, and she finished third in her semifinal, running 8 seconds on the nose. Now, that 8 seconds was unfortunately not fast enough to get into one of the non automatic times to make it to the finals. And as such, that was where, the competition ended for Megan Tapper. No, as I said, she didn't have one of the cleanest executions. When I looked at her first 2 hurdles, she hit them very hard, and that definitely threw her off. Her momentum cut, and she ended up running that 8 seconds. Personally, I believe that if she had a clean execution in this race, Megan would have definitely made it to that 60-meter finals. But track is that's how life goes sometimes. Sometimes execution is great and we make it, sometimes it's not and we don't make it. It's part of life. We just have to move on. Devyn Charlton, though the world record holder, is still there from Bahamas. So the Caribbean has been definitely doing it big. We saw it with Julian Alfred, we saw it with Thea LaFond, and now Devyn Charlton has another opportunity to make sure that the Caribbean flies, that gold flag very high. But another athlete that is there that could potentially challenge Devyn Charlton is Samba Mayela from France. Now she is a defending champion and she has run really well, running a national record so far. So track is that 60 meters is going to be very, very interesting. And of course, can't wait to see what happens with Devyn Charlton in that race. Well, track is, guess what? Devyn Charlton understood the assignment and she stood up for Bahamas and, of course, the Caribbean and walked away with yet another gold medal. I ain't gonna lie, the Caribbean on the backs of Julian Alfred from St. Lucia, of course, Theophane from Dominica, and of course, Devyn Charlton from Bahamas have been carrying us really, really strong. Another gold. But track is this gold is the world record run that we have been waiting to see. So, yes, Devyn said I had more in the tank, and she came out and she executed like we knew she could. Watching her run track, she has been in fine fittle. And I said, you know what? She can definitely break this world record again at the World Indoor Championships. And she did just that. Now, the challenge that came from Samba Mayela was literally dismissed. Now, Devine runs a 7.65 seconds in the women's 60-meter hurdles. Wow! Wow, 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 wow. Amazing. Congratulations are in full effect for Devyn Charlton, and of course, walking away with this fantastic gold, and of course, a world record at that. Great performances. Now, track is in second was Simba Mayela. She ran 7.74 seconds. She was a defending champion, and she was soundly defeated this time around. But we're looking to see what she has to go to offer outdoors because the French hold the Olympic Games this year, and she'll more than likely be there. So I'm excited for that. And in third place from Poland was Pia, and she ran 7.79 seconds. So check is that is how the world record run in the 60 meters went. Now track is moving on from the women's 60-meter hurdles, and we're going to jump into the women's long jump. Now, heading in, there are a lot of world class athletes here. One to speak of clearly, Tara Davis Woodhall, jumping 7.18 meters so far this season. So, our very own Jamaican Tisana Hicklin was up against it. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, she jumped a season's best jump of 6.43 seconds, but it wasn't good enough to get her 3 further jumps. So she only got 3 jumps in the competition in the long jump final, and these 3 jumps she jumped a best jump of 6.43 meters, as I said, and it placed her 10th overall in the women's long jump final. Now, Jackie, it was always going to be an uphill task for Tisana Hicklin, considering how well the women long jumpers are doing this season. A lot of them turned up in shape. So, I can't really say it is surprising, that she did not make it further in the competition. But again, this is more experience for her for when she goes outdoors, and hopefully she'll be able to make it to Paris 1 and compete well, because we still need to get those qualifying marks in, go to the Jamaican trials as well. That's another thing. So Let's see what happens with Tisana Hicklin as we head outdoors, but that's where her competition ended as well. Now, track is to the women's 4x4. Now, this is the event that Jamaica stood a very good shot of, not only one winning a medal, but two potentially challenging for gold. Now, I know I say this, but yes, the United States was there. And of course, the really, really strong Netherlands team was also there as well. So, Jamaica would pretty much be up against it, when we talk about medaling and of course gold, but still, if we're here to win, right? But yeah, as I said, things did not go to plan. And the worst thing that could have happened to Team Jamaica, pretty much happened. Well, I think the worst thing would be injury actually. So that didn't happen. So I guess the worst thing didn't happen, but still we didn't, figure into the medals, and I'm gonna tell you why. So, one, tactically, Team Netherlands got it right. I thought they would have put Lieke on third and, of course, also put Femke on fourth. That's not what they did. They put Lieke on the first leg. So, right from the gun, Netherlands was leading, but Jamaica was in it with Lane on that first leg, keeping pace, just a bit behind in second place, making sure that Jamaica was in the conversation. Now, Anjanette also maintained that second place spot for Team Jamaica as well, ensuring that Jamaica again was in the thick of things when it comes to medaling. Now, track is once Cherokee Young got that button, though, and this is strange of Cherokee because she's such a great relay runner, a relay bully, I tend to call her when it comes to Jamaican and competing, right? That this is one of the shocking things I think I've ever seen happen for an athlete so experienced. She unfortunately gave up the inside lane, and the American athlete, kind of swooped in and, passed her and went into second place, landing Jamaica into third. Now, considering that she gave up the first lane means she moved herself pretty much in the second lane, right? And as such, it would be more work to try to navigate to get back to the athletes ahead of you, right? But another thing went wrong for Cherokee in this race as well. The Great Britain team behind her made a push to pass Team Jamaica, and in doing so, Cherokee Young carrying the baton in her right hand, the Great Britain team passing her on the outside. Unfortunately, the athlete's hand hit, knock, whatever you want to call it, the baton straight out of Cherokee Young's hand. And you know what? It left me completely distressed and distraught when I saw it because one, Cherokee just stopped dead right there on the track. So, it pretty much said that Jamaica's hopes of medaling ended right then and there. The Netherlands will go on to win. America took second, and of course, Great Britain took third. No. With what happened with Cherokee Young, for me, it's an anomaly, right? Cherokee has always performed well, and sometimes Cherokee in life, things don't go to plan, and this was one of those things. I definitely think Cherokee was, the right choice to be on the relay. Unfortunately, she didn't, get to, run her best race. One, tactically, she made an error, yes, and two, she got the button knocked out of her hand. No, when you talk about potentially protesting, what happens, I don't really see it, going anywhere other than maybe if they win the protest, GB gets disqualified. But honestly, getting GB disqualified does not put Jamaica into the medals because one we got the button knocked out, we didn't pick the button up and complete the race, right? So that's the thing. If you want your appeals to go through, you try to finish the race sometimes, but it didn't really happen for Team Jamaica. Maybe the button got flung so far away that Cherokee couldn't even find it, right? So we never really know because one thing that didn't happen on our stream is that they didn't replay it for us to see, right? I just know she stopped in distress, and that was all she wrote for Jamaica and getting a medal in this women's 4x4. Honestly, guys, it's one of those things. Don't knock Cherokee, as I said. Life just doesn't work out sometimes. And yes, we would have loved to get the medal. Yes, we are disappointed. But again, we are looking forward to seeing Team Jamaica heading into the outdoor season. A lot of things to take away from. One, we definitely have to keep an eye on the Netherlands for outdoors. Two, definitely as well, USA is always there for sure. Great Britain also has a very strong team. That's something I really want Jamaicans to take note of. Great Britain has a very strong team. I'm looking at the Irish team as well. They'll be coming with some firehouses outdoors, or some powerhouses outdoors as well. And another thing, and the most important thing for this Jamaican team is one, getting the team right, right? That is the most important thing, getting the team right, selecting the right legs. my big takeaway out of this is Anjanette Knight. Anjanette Knight has sold me in terms of her being a part of the relay team going forward, right? So though she runs the hurdles and that will be her focus when she gets outdoors, when we get to Paris potentially after she completes, her run at the national championships, providing she makes the team, she should be considered for the 4x4 relay as well. So I just want to make that a note. Also, the girls just see that they need to brush up on a few areas, strengthen themselves in a few areas, yeah, and get ready to contest with the rest of the world outdoors. But anyway, Trackies, let me know your thoughts. As I said, things didn't really go according to plan, but life happens sometimes. Can't really fault them. It is what it is. Like the video, of course, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.